here we go.
Oh,
Hello, my
goodbye.
name is Alun, and today, this evening, in my time zone at least, we are playing the first of a two-shot of my own game, The Cluster, um, where we will have a crew, a ragtag crew, trying to make a living, and probably encountering all manner of adventure and danger on the way. You want to know more about The Cluster? Go back and look at one of the other recordings of sessions of it. Um, what I will say is that this was organized as part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community's monthly calendar. If you don't know about the Open Hearth, please search Open Hearth Gaming Community and come look at us, come join us, because we think we have a really good table culture, and we want to encourage more people to play more games online. Certainly, I wouldn't be playing as many games and as many different games with as many different people if I was relying on my face-to-face local group. So, with that in mind, we are going to be playing with safety tools. I would just ask the players to check out the safety and links tab. I've made a start on lines and veils. Lines are those things that will not crop up in the fiction. If we sail close to it, then please anyone stop me, as I will stop you. Veils are things that may crop up in the fiction, but we will draw a discrete veil across. For instance, because I'm old and British, any consensual sex will be veiled. So we will not have any of that making out on screen. Thank you very much. Um, there's also an ask first if you're not quite certain about something. And there's also an interested in. And I hope you're interested in different planets because we have a series of different planets in the cluster. So, um, how many of them we'll get to see in a two-shot, we'll play to find out. Um, if there is anything that crops up that isn't in our lines and veils, the X card is there for players to use. Make the X, type it in the chat. If I don't notice it in the chat and somebody else does, please stop me and let me know because I won't have noticed it. The X card is there for stuff that comes up that may or may not, that may make you feel uncomfortable. And I've had people call the X card on the name of a character because it turned out to be their brother-in-law or something similar. And it was doing very nasty things. So X card is there as a kind of, can we just pause and can I check? And likewise, if you think we are getting too close to a line, X card just to check where we're going. Um, and I will say, because this is important, if something comes up and you think, oh, I'm all right with that, and then it comes up again, you think, actually, I'm not sure I am okay with that. Just because you didn't play the X card the first time it came up does not mean that you cannot play it the second time. Please play the X card if anything makes you feel uncomfortable, because this is about us having fun. We're also playing with an open door, which means that if something happens in the real world away from these screens, please, go and deal with it. We'll cope. We'd like to think you would come back. But equally, if this turns out not to be as much fun as you kind of hoped it would be, then you're not chained to that keyboard, right? You're not chained to this screen. If you get a better offer, there's no problem with going and enjoying that better offer. Okay. Um, I hope you don't, but it's there for you to use, and it's there for me to use if I don't like you all. So I noticed some people are putting some interested in. We're currently interested in different planets, heists, and classism. Oh, that's interesting. So, given that we've got poor and authoritarian backgrounds, that may give us something to work with. So yeah, put some stuff in there as you like. So that's my bit of introduction. I'll just run around the screen and just ask you to introduce yourselves and tell us your pronouns. Dom.
Hi, I'm Dominic. Not Dom, by the way. That's a different
Oh,
player.
sorry. Yeah, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. It's years of being called Al.
I'm Dominic, he, him, and I already rolled the name of my character from the Orbital Blues book. It's Duke.
Okay,
But that's all I have to say right now, I think.
and he's he him as well. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, Sinner, say hello. Tell us about your pronouns and tell us the name of your character if you want to.
Hi, I'm Cinna. I use they, it pronouns, uh, and I'll be playing Linn using she, her pronouns.
Nathan.
Yes, I'm Nathan. My screen name on Discord is Goloka, if you've seen me there. He, him pronouns, and I need to come up with a character name.
And Puckett.
Hey there, my name is Puckett. I use he, him pronouns. Alan will probably be relieved that I'm not playing a character named Mia again. And I'll be playing Coyne, who is a fixer, somebody who can get things done, uses he, him pronouns, etc.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who are not in on the joke, Mia travels across time and space. She's an interesting character that crops up a lot. And the other thing I'd ask you to just take a look at, players, is on the safety and links tab. There's also a romance tab, a romance grid. I don't promise a lot of romance, given the time that we've got. But if you're interested or not, up to you. So our characters, we've done a bit of character creation, but I want to kind of work out a bit more about these characters. So I'm going to go left to right on the character keeper, which means that I'm going to start with you, Dominic.
Yes.
If you go down the bottom to around row 68, yeah, your story so far. Now, based on your career choices, it says, which are, remind me?
My career choices are that I used to be a grifter and also a daredevil.
Okay. So the questions related to that are, you pretend to be what you are not to fool people into letting you do things, to be places they really shouldn't. And for the daredevil, you have complete, perhaps too much confidence in your skills, mobility, agility, and your ability to assess risk for yourself and others. And there are a couple of questions there related to each of those, with a space for you to overtype some stuff. So did you make a living in the media, as a criminal who took advantage of people, or in government work? And were your skills honed in extreme sports, as a stunt performer, or in a corporate or military context?
Do you want me to answer the questions right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for the first question, I think it's a little bit of both, of all three actually, in that I made a living as a TV pundit. Since I'm coming from this totalitarian background, we haven't
remember that this is what you've done since leaving.
Yeah, we haven't established anything yet. How powerful this background is, like if it's just a small cult or if it's like the entire political infrastructure.
Oh, fair enough. Then let's if you want the background, if you check out the cluster tab, you will find something about the authoritarian bit of the cluster that we've got. The system is called Galliel's Plantings, and the homeworld is Haven's Landing. And One Garden World, Industrials Manufacture, Steam, Steel, and Telegraphy. So this is 18th, early 19th century. If you were looking for some sense of the place. And we know nothing yet at all about how this authoritarian exists. So,
I think my question was how open I could work in defiance of them. Like if they are like controlling the entire sector, then that's more difficult than if they only have one planet.
I'm with you.
But since they only have like one planet, then I think I went somewhere else and positioned myself as a firebrand, like convert, SKP, in order to sell supplements and make a lot of money.
Fine. If you want to put a couple of words or phrases where it says overtype details here, just so I've got some recollection of that. Moving along, next, Nathan. your culture is dedicated and your careers have been engineer and investigator. So
Mhm.
your questions along the way from where Dom has been asked, you're a builder and a breaker. You can dig, blast, dismantle, and demolish as well as you can reinforce, repair, maintain, and improve. And again, it asks you something about where you might have developed your skill set. And you understand the importance of secrets, particularly other people's secrets, and have the skills to uncover them discreetly. Did you pick up your particular set of skills in espionage, law enforcement, activism, or criminality? So, what can you tell me about where this skill set comes from, or these two skill sets?
And the answers to these go in the next box down. Is
They
that
do,
correct?
where it says overtype details here.
Okay. So I back on his planet.
Remember, this is since you left.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the careers are what you've done since leaving your home planet and joining the crew.
Okay. So yeah, aboard ship is where he has developed all his skills. He didn't have really much experience in these sort of in engineering, but he just had aptitude, right? So he quickly found out he had some aptitude for this once he got on board ship.
Okay. And is that also true of his investigator skills?
Yes, and that I'd say perhaps he did have he's been asked to do that since he's been on board. And again, maybe that goes back to maybe one of the reasons he left originally was he got embroiled in some sort of scheme, somebody wanting to use his skills, and now he's on board and he's being asked again. So,
well, I mean, I'm very happy for these to be kind of iterative. So we've got a rough idea of where the skill set comes from. We'll move on in a moment to find out about his upbringing, and then
okay.
Yeah. So
right.
I'm very happy for this to be a circular process.
Okay, very good.
What about Puckett Coyne? It's got some questions down there. Life is about profit and loss. The trick is to ensure there's more of the former. You specialize in finding what people want at an honest price. And your needs as a scoundrel are more important than petty rules. You do what you think you can get away with. You're pragmatic in pursuit of the greater good. And the questions are, were you a trader, entrepreneur, broker, or a bounty hunter balancing profit with risk? And did you learn how to do what you do as a trader or smuggler, thief or assassin?
Oh, I'm a broker.
Okay.
I'm a go-between. Sometimes I find things for people. So, I have a range of skill sets, most of which stem from having to scavenge to find anything that I needed, and most of which would allow me to survive. So you tend to get very good at finding what you need when death is on the line.
Okay.
So
Okay.
moving along, I just found that there's people willing to pay for that kind of a service. And I started making use of my skills.
Fine.
And it's an honest price with quotes.
It is. Honest price and pragmatic in pursuit of the greater good. So put a couple of words or phrases in there just to give us something to hang this on and maybe come back and refine it shortly. Finally, Cinna, your background is so you came from a spacer culture, but since leaving, you've split your time hustler soldier, which is an interesting combination. Were you a religious or political evangelist, a rabble-rousing activist, or a criminal misusing your talents? And did you take up arms for honorable or mercenary reasons, or did you just enjoy the violence?
Yeah, I was an activist for the rights and privileges of spacers. People will tread all over you if you let them. But doing that sort of work, when you find out that actually approaching things from the law side doesn't do that well. You end up taking more and more mercenary-like jobs until you find yourself decked out in a ship with guns.
Enough said. Enough said. Let's go back round and start finding out if those are the kinds of things you've got in your mind for your more recent history. Let's go back a bit. So let's begin with the product of this authoritarian culture. Indoctrination into the beliefs of the regime starts at birth, and dissent is not tolerated. Everyone is trained to defend and, if required, die for the cause. Is the regime built on oppressive militaristic, religious, or political principles? Dominic, what do you think?
I think it is religious, or at least the language is religious, and probably the underlying principles are more economic / political, but the language is religious for sure.
So this is about belief.
Yeah.
Okay, well, put something in that box alongside that question to hang that on. I'll come back and ask you the question underneath that. So give some thought to the answer to that question. Moving along to our dedicated Nathan. It says, your society is dedicated to an all-consuming, generations-spanning great project, support of which is taken for granted, and to which everyone is expected to dedicate their lives. Is the great project a social, scientific, technological, or some other kind of endeavor?
Social.
Social. Fine.
Yes.
Do you want to, can you unpack that for me a bit?
Sure. I think perhaps folks arrived on this planet with the idea that they're going to set up some sort of utopian society with people taking certain roles in society, and was perhaps a little restrictive in its demands upon people.
So the great project is the creation of utopia.
Yes.
Let's put a pin in that for a minute, and then we'll see what went terribly wrong for you.
Okay.
Okay. Moving along to Puckett. You come from a poor culture.
Yeah.
Your society is defined by its poverty and high population density. Conditions are cramped and resources limited, while privacy and solitude are luxuries available to almost no one. Why is everyone crammed into Hive City, bunker, environmental domes, somewhere else? What, you tell me.
Good question. What's a demon world?
A demon world is one where you can't really survive. You need very heavy protection.
Okay.
Because if we check out the cluster, I think we will discover that rubble, a belt of asteroids and other rocks, and several demon worlds.
So basically, we are crammed into tight quarters because tight quarters in the few, I hesitate to call them livable, but tight quarters in the few survivable locations in that system are the only way that we survive.
So environmental challenges, are those, the environmental hazards of deep space, or is there something more specific?
Well, most of the system is uninhabitable, so we're all basically living on asteroids, which really means inside asteroids to avoid cosmic radiation. So yes, everything. It's all bad.
So put something to that effect, just so we got a bit of detail of rubble, as the system is called. And last but not least, Sinner, you're from the spacer background, as I remember. And it says, everything is scarce and recycled among your people. Nothing is wasted, but death is always hovering beyond the skin of the habitat or ship that protects you from the killing void. Do most people live in orbitals, deep space stations or habitats, or in ships or somewhere else in the system?
I think people build their lives by docking 2, 3 ships together and becoming this family for a week up to a month at a time, sharing food, oxygen, whatever they have. And then you
Yeah.
move on.
And then you move on, and presumably that maintains a level of genetic diversity and so on and so on. Yeah, okay. Um, let me go back and ask the question underneath that, which is basically why you left. So, Dominic, you left after betraying a close friend to the regime to save yourself. Who? What did you say they'd done? How did their punishment disgust you?
Hmm.
This is a chance to paint just how unpleasant that authoritarian regime is, I think.
Hmm. Maybe let's start with how did their punishment disgust you? Um, what would disgust me about a capitalist corporatist society that enforces cohesion and buy-in through religious language? Um, I think what disgusted me about the punishment was that it it revealed the hypocrisy of the regime, that it's not actually about the religious tenets, but it's about earning money. Um, and what did you say they'd done? Um, Means that it's probably something I have actually done, blaming it on them. And maybe I um, developed my own doubts before that happened. Um, and I did exactly that. I put some money aside to get out. That money was found. I blamed it on them. Um, and they then were, they were expelled. Um, so they got what I wanted.
So they were thrown out to make their cast out.
Yeah. When the entire point of it in the first place was that I wanted to get out. Um, and what is the first question? Who? Um, Somebody I worked closely with. Maybe we had a like propaganda channel together. Um, and that person was the person who did the actual thinking work and the actual um, ideological work, whereas I was the face and the talker.
Right.
Um,
So did they were they true believers,
they
whereas
were
you
true
were more
believer.
cynical?
They were true believer. I wanted to get out. The money was caught and was connected to our accounts, and I let them take the hit, not anticipating that the regime would just kick them out.
What a nasty piece of work you are. If that adds a bit of flesh to how you spent your time between then and now, you might want to go back and just tweak whatever you've got under the career questions. Let's move along to Nathan. Eugene Burbeck. Um, you left after an unforgivable failure with a significant human cost. What did you do? Who suffered? How did that leave you with no option but to leave?
So some a a mafia like group had forced him into using his skills for his what at the time were fairly minor skills, but some aptitude for mechanical and electronic things, to use them in a scheme and an illegal heist of some kind. And uh, he messed up in the midst of it. Some of these members of this group were killed in the process, and of course they're blaming him. So he had to get out of there before they came after him. So
Right. Put a couple of words or phrases in that box to give us an aid memoir for that. What a very interesting background. What about Coyne, Puckett? Yeah, you left when the things you did to keep those close to you fed, healthy, and alive took their toll. What did you do? Who suffered as a result?
Well, you know how you'll do anything to survive? Uh, Turns out it there are some things I won't do to survive. And one of those jobs came up. I took it without thinking. And well, once I had failed to do the job, there were elements, if you will, in the asteroids looking for. And considering how close packed everything is, there's nowhere to hide there. I had to leave.
Okay,
And the good news is that the people who care about me, as long as I never contact them again, should be okay because they're being surveilled quite heavily by the people who are angry that I did not finish the job.
so does that mean that no one did suffer? Because
Oh, they're being surveilled
okay,
heavily.
okay. So they have to be very careful about what they do.
Yes, I can't reach out to them. Period.
Okay,
They can't
okay,
know where I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going. I'm effectively dead to them
okay.
so that they can continue.
So put a couple of words or phrases in there to summarize that. And finally, Sinner, start adding Linn. Sorry, Linn. You left after the void took a friend you could have, should have saved. Who? What happened? How did you fail them when it mattered?
So there was this effort that we had worked up to with the working for spacers' rights for a long time, and we had this opportunity to really make a difference by all coming together and making a significant demonstration. Unfortunately, I had to leave my family behind to go to this, leaving them exposed, and the consequences of doing very violent mercenary work for years came to fall back on them
Oh,
while I was
right.
gone.
Okay, fine. Well, this leads us neatly into entanglements. This is the burden that you carry from that time. So, if you hit the drop down, you will see a range of options, a handful of options. Um, Dominic, which of those entanglements do you think best fits what you have described so far? Grief, guilt, being haunted by what you had to do. Uh, it's the regime, not the idea. Uh, or is there a price on your head or something else agreed with the GM?
Mm, I'm not quite sure yet.
Well, give it a bit of thought. I'll come back round to you.
Yeah.
Nathan, what about Eugene? Uh, which of those entanglements do you think fits the crime, so to speak?
Yeah.
Again, we've got an entanglement means that you hate failure. Yeah, there's guilt. There are still people back there who matter. They want you back for whatever reason, or you know something you shouldn't.
Ooh. I think I know something I shouldn't.
Okay, I'm going to come back round in a moment and ask you what that is and who would they send to stop you sharing. Puckett, what about you? Which of those entanglements do you think best describes the situation you found yourself and what you carry? Is it debt to someone for getting you out? Is it guilt of what we had to do? Are you haunted by what we had to do? Are there people there that still matter? Or you're a witness to something that maybe they don't want to get out? Take your pick.
I almost feel like it's a lot of them because I took off
Well,
with
tough. You need to pick one.
I took off. I used the syndicate's money that they paid me for the job to flee.
Fine.
So That's not exactly a debt, but it's not a debt.
Yeah, I think that's a debt, particularly as you've defined a criminal organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So go for debt, and I will come back to ask you questions about the questions that are in the bracket associated with that. And Sinner, what do you think? Which burden do you carry? Is this debt, failure, fugitive? Are you on the run? Grief or guilt?
It's guilt. Big time guilt.
And I notice you've had a crack at the answers. So how do you assuage or numb your guilt?
Because it was politics that caused it, I stay out of politics now and try not to look at it.
And
when I can't help but look at it, I silence that thought with work and gin.
fine. Let me go round to Dominic. It's
Yo.
the regime, not the idea. How does sharing this idea cause problems?
I do still believe in the tenets, and I do still make money off selling them while publicly denouncing the regime. And how it causes me problems is that the people outside of the community who find out that what I'm doing tend to not take me very seriously.
Okay.
Because to everybody not in it, it looks like an obvious grift.
Okay. Put something in there. What about Eugene? You know something you shouldn't. What? Who would they send to stop you sharing?
So this crime syndicate was off planet, and they had come into the society to and in working for them, he stumbled on some inside knowledge about this organization, and they highly suspect that he knows more than he should have, and now he's left. So he has this information. He doesn't know what to do with it, and he knows that they they aren't happy that he has it. And they're sending folks after him.
Okay. So that's interesting. And what about you, Puckett? What can you tell me about the what does it say? Debt to a criminal, terrorist, corporate, someone else. What did they do for you? Go ahead.
Well, I took the money and I fled with the target.
Okay, so you have syndicate money.
Well, I should say syndicate resources.
Okay.
Resources are more important than money. Like
Okay.
you don't get script or money or, as ironic as it is, coins for that kind of work. You get food, water, air, essential things, all of which are enough to get you out of the system, but not really enough to get you any place outside the system.
Okay.
People just don't value it as much out here.
And that probably explains why you're part of a crew that's barely scraping by financially. Finally,
I mean, I feel at home.
Sinner, guilt about what you did. Oh, no, sorry, we started with you. I apologize. So that gives us a flavor of you and where you come from and a little bit more about our cluster. So the question I now have to ask you is, we're going to take a pause for a moment, our first break shortly, but I want you to give some thought before that as to which of the systems of the cluster do we first see you in? So we have the Barlow system. That's a harsh environment and it's nobody's home. We have the Spacer system, the Iron Reef, which is where I think Linn comes from. So I'll add Linn up there. Then we have Eugene, who comes from the Splintered Reach, the homeworld of Koth. Then Hub, which is the closest the cluster has to a government. Then we have I got a name for Duke, wasn't it?
Yep.
Dominic? Yeah.
Yep.
So Duke comes from Galliel's plantings. And And that leaves Coyne. That's right. Coyne from Rubble. Oops, can't spell
Rubble
Coyne.
3.
Rubble 3, indeed. Which is probably just an asteroid name. And then Vex is where we have a slightly strange sequestered society that keeps its distance from everybody else. We have Look at That, which is a harsh environment, which we don't know much about yet. So I want to know which system you want to start playing. Where are you interested in being? Sinner, got a thought?
Mm, I don't know, actually.
Okay. Nathan, does one of those appeal to you more than others?
Not necessarily off the top of my head. I just would if he was in his own system, he would be incredibly panicked about this fact.
Yeah.
He might even but you might be afraid to say something about it. Maybe that could be dramatic, but if any of those would be great too. And I guess part of it would depend on, like, do we have a job that we're seeking?
Well, if you tell me where you are, we'll then work out what the job is.
Okay.
What I think I'm hearing here is that Eugene does not want to start playing the Splintered Reach.
He would.
So that's where we have to go.
I mean, this syndicate's not actually from there, right? They just know he is. They're looking for him no matter where he is.
Exactly. And Coyne, I'm just, again, given the background, are you wanting to avoid Rubble at the moment, Puckett?
I mean, if by avoid you mean not be killed on sight, then yes, I would like to avoid the system.
Okay, so Rubble and the Splintered Reach are not top of the list. Dominic, what about you? Are you interested in spending time at home?
No.
Okay, so we're narrowing this down quite significantly. Sinner, what about the spacer system, the Iron Wreath? Are you
Linn would have no opinions whatsoever about a location because spacers don't subscribe to a location. It's ships that they are home from.
Okay. So I think I'm hearing Barlow, one patchwork world and several survivable worlds, a technology base of chemical fuels, mass production, and radio, socioeconomic framing, barbarism or barter, and scarce resources. Sounds like an interesting place to be. Iron Wreath, rather. The spacer culture, several demon worlds, decent level of technology, barely enough to go around, but relies on key imports, considerable inequality. And Vex, which is one survivable and several hostile worlds, fire technology limited to utilitarian metallurgy, so primitive this is. Socioeconomic framing, broadly sustainable enough to go around, but that doesn't mean it's evenly spread. And that is, people don't know a lot about Vex or about the planet home. So what do you think? Where do you want to be? Sinner, they've told me where they don't want to be, so I'm going to pin you down on a choice of Barlow, Vex, Iron Reach, or Hub.
Let's go Hub.
Let's go Hub. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you want to start at the center of all things? So let's take a break. It's 6 minutes past now. Let's have a decent break to start with. Shall we be back in our seats at 1:15? Okay. Fine.
All right.
So we know that the ship, which I will remember the name of sooner or later, Midnight Nexus, is this slightly I would have said run down cramped, reconditioned. It's more like spending time on a submarine, a World War II submarine, maybe, rather than anything like Star Wars or Star Trek. This is not shiny technology. This is gritty, reused, scruffy, rusty, clangy, banging, all those things. And you're in Hub. Let's find out the nature of the job you're doing. Now, if I can take you to the tab labeled Ship and Wealth. You are currently scraping by. You will see that if things got worse, you would be desperate, but it would be really nice if you could at least break even. And you will, as you spend stuff, those ticks will disappear. And as you earn stuff, those unmarked boxes will be ticked. But you'll see that because you're scraping by, there are a number of jobs available to you. Now, you could go for local blue collar or white collar work. Maybe hardly the ideal start for an adventurous group like yourselves. But then there's a cargo run, which is worth 1 wealth. So if that went well, you tick a box. A salvage job worth 2, a rescue or recovery job worth 3, or an investigative job worth 4. So does anybody want to suggest to me what kind of job? You will get the job. It's just the conditions around it will determine the nature of what goes on. So which of those appeal to this group?
Well, I would say my character in character would have virtually no say on this whatsoever.
Okay.
So
He's just going where everybody says he does what he's told to do and goes where these guys tell him we're going to go.
Okay.
So then Nathan should have a large say.
Nathan might have an opinion. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I look around and say, folks, recovery and rescue jobs, not so much. You never know who you are rescuing or recovering, or why you are rescuing or recovering them. Could be somebody on the run from a bad family, bad situation, criminal syndicate. So you want to take that one, you better be prepared to eat it, because I'm not handing somebody over to a criminal syndicate.
Eugene is on board with not doing that.
We would have the skills for that one.
You might.
It's not meeting people.
Dominic, what are you thinking?
I was just thinking, if I was in their situation, I wouldn't be want to recover it either. A salvage job has the benefit that there might be something falling off the truck that we can use for our individual things.
Okay, so I think I'm drifting towards a salvage job, unless somebody has a very strong opinion in favor of, because I'm hearing recovery and rescue. No, thank you very much. Investigative. So I'm hearing salvage, unless somebody wants to tell me differently.
Investigative does sound interesting, but
and it's worth a lot.
And we have the skills for it.
Are the widgets that fell off worth anything or not? I guess.
So, salvage or investigative? See, we're too polite a community.
Broker. We do have an investigator.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
We do have people who can hack.
Okay, then I am going to suggest.
And we have a con man.
An investigative job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can feel blue the entire time and look cool in the background.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. So this is potentially very valuable, but we need to find out a little bit more about the job, don't we? So if you go to the Moves tab, you will find over on the right-hand side of those, it says finding a paying job. If a job just drops into the crew's lap, I define it. Well, this hasn't dropped into your lap. We'll see. Otherwise, when they look for a job, they say, which are the ones available? Investigative. And this won't be through a ring gate, because you are going to be in Hub. So they will get that job, but one of the crew rolls plus hospitality. Now, it seems to me a no-brainer that it is our fixer who should be rolling plus hospitality. and that is the ship's hospitality. This is how much of ship resources you've got to oil the wheels of business, Coyne. So finding a paying job, roll plus hospitality. Your hospitality is +1. So if
Okay.
you want to roll 2 dice +1, I don't know if you're familiar with the dice roller, but
I
if
have
you
not seen this one yet.
okay, so just click a dice and it'll say 1d6. Click it again, it'll say 2d6, and there's a little thing that says roll.
So the color of the dice doesn't really mean much.
Irrelevant.
All right.
It tends to move quicker if people use different colored dice. If
All right.
everyone uses the green one, it tends to slow down in my experience.
Look at that.
Wow, 11 all told, 10 on the dice +1 for the hospitality. So, with hospitality of 1, you can run to a couple of drinks, Coyne. So just tell me, where do we find you negotiating on behalf of the crew?
It is a very modest bar. The kind of place that waters the drinks down, but everybody's polite enough to not say anything about it because it allows them to feel like they're just the tiniest bit upscale.
Okay. Now, if you look at the move, it says on 10 plus, you say if this is a legal or definitely illegal job. If it's illegal, it will be worth 5, not just 4 wealth. So, are you negotiating with a straight up legal individual, or is this a bit shady, Coyne?
How do we feel about this, folks? Do you want the extra? Do you want the extra wealth?
It's a 2-shot, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Okay.
guys say.
Eugene perks up from the.
I'm hearing 1 4, 1 ambivalent.
And you.
Senna?
Sure. Let's
Okay.
go for it.
Let's do something illegal.
So this guy is he says, I can't explain exactly why who this involves, but I need someone to find out why the Ringate Authority is spending so much time and effort out there in the outer planets of the system. My associates have noticed a lot of activity, and we'd really like to know why the RGA are spending so much resource out there. Is that something you could help me with?
I mean, I could try to tell you it's aliens and make both of our jobs way easier, but yeah, I think we can probably look into that for you.
I can
It
give
will
you.
cost you.
I appreciate this is something we'd prefer the Ringate Authority not to know about.
I see it's sensitive.
And obviously, the fact that I'm not telling you who I'm working for means that clearly the people I am working for don't want you or the Ringate Authority to know who they are.
To be honest, who they are is fundamentally irrelevant to us.
That is what I was hoping you'd say. So I can provide you with some data on where we've been plotting the destinations of a significant number of authority ships. So you know kind of where to look. But beyond that, I have nothing else that I can help you with.
I see.
Is that okay?
Is there anything in particular that you can tell us that you are looking for or you want us to not see?
No, we want to know as closely as what are they doing out there?
Very well.
We have a deal?
We do.
Then when you get back, let me know where you want to meet, and you can tell me what you find out, and I can pay you. and then everyone's happy.
I do like it when we're happy.
I'd hope you say that. Cheers.
And I will raise my glass and yeah,
Um,
and head back to the ship.
and so I think I'm happy for each of you to do a bit of legwork in advance of setting off towards the area of deep space in the system that he's identified. Is there anything now? I guess in terms of who I would go to first, I'm thinking, is our fixer or our investigator, or even our grifter who pretends to be people, or our hustler who is good at manipulating people. Is there any kind of legwork that any of you want to do in advance? So let me start with our fixer. You come out of that meeting, you go back and report back to the ship. Is there any legwork you want to do in advance, Coyne?
Well, the first thing I do is kick myself for not thinking to ask for some of the payment in advance, get it up front. But
Eugene
no
was
use
going to ask
crying
about
over-
that, but never mind.
no use crying over exhalations that you can't get back. But I do want to do some research on that sector to find out as much as I can about the composition of worlds, resources, industries, anything
Okay.
I can find out about the area. Basically looking up the equivalent of the CIA fact book on it.
Okay, so there is the career move for the fixer, hit the street. When you spend time to find the right person to provide support, backup resources, or something else you need, frame the scene in which you meet them, and then you tell me if you're economical with the truth, or you're just your usual charming and persuasive self.
I'm just going to be economical with the truth.
Okay.
We're interested in perhaps starting a new business venture out there.
And as you know, the GM will say that your object is of dubious local legality. So this is roll plus shady.
Which is why I was targeting that.
Yeah.
All righty. So
because that is your
rolling
strength.
10. That gets me to a 7.
That gets you to a 7. So on 7 plus, you get what was promised, and that offers advantage to a relevant action. So make a note somewhere that you know something that is going to be useful when you get out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you don't need to tell me what that is. I'm not going to tell you what that is. But when you get out there, you will find that information is of some use to you. But on a 7 to 9, the GM describes the cost of your success. A factional favor or debt. I think that, and for this, I need you to just check out the crew tab, right? There is down on row 52 a list of the factions at play here. I've changed one of the ones I started with to the Syndicate because you seem quite keen on that. So, can you tell me, Coyne, do any of those owe you a favor? And do
Quick
any
question,
of them?
which page is that on?
Oh, sorry, it's on the crew tab.
Okay.
Yeah. And down on 51, 52, you'll find a list of the factions. Do any of these owe you a favor?
Would it be too much to say that the Ringgate Authority owes me a favor because I made something embarrassing
Not at all.
disappear?
Not at all. So hit the drop down and select one for the favor that they owe you. Can you give me two others that you owe something that you're in debt to? I mean, the Syndicate would be an obvious one, I suppose, but I leave it to you.
What is Mantis?
Mantis, again, you'll find the details. Mantis is scientists and researchers on Eugene's homeworld. They have a reach across adjacent systems to which the system is linked by a ring gate, but they're a kind of Mantis is somehow underground. It's rumored, and people are suspicious of it. People who know anything about it.
Okay. Well, I definitely think I probably owe something to outcasts.
Okay.
I suspect that the person who I got away from the Syndicate is hiding out amongst them somewhere. I
Okay.
probably don't even know where, because, if I get caught, I can't say anything.
Okay.
Um,
And another debt?
Let's just go with the Syndicate to kind of speed things up.
Okay. Then I think that one of the reasons that I'm going to introduce what I think the move calls a factional complication and or entanglement emerges is that when you put your ear to the ground, the person who gives you some information about this says, and the strange thing is, out there, a couple of ships that I think are connected to the Syndicate have also been snooping about out there.
I will swear audibly, paint the air blue for a second or two, say, thanks for the heads up.
Okay. Let me go next to our Eugene, our investigator. How do you think your investigation move, crack it, when you crack a physical location, roll plus shady, when you crack a data system or store, roll plus sharp, how do you think that might help do some groundwork on this, Eugene?
Well, Eugene is much better working with electronics and computers and hacking and things that he is with other ways of investigation.
So where are you trying to get into? What system are you trying to hack?
Yeah, I think. Well, it was one of two things. I was thinking either getting some more data on the ring gate authority ships that are going out there, like who's on board, what are they carrying with them, that might give us an idea of what they're doing out there. The other might be some information about the outer systems that they've been headed to. Like, is there something out there, resources, is something happening? So either one of those, I don't know.
Okay,
I can toss it out to the group.
Okay, well, so I think probably the nature of the ship is something you'll be able to find out. You're more likely to find out on Hub. But let's see how the roll goes. Roll plus sharp. So click a dice twice. You'll get 2d6 will appear on the roller, and then there's a big roll button. I hope.
Okay, and then the sharp will
sharp is added to that. So whatever you roll plus sharp.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, first time I've used this, so all right. And then, okay. I see +1 and +3. I don't see.
Ignore that. It's much easier just to roll the dice and we'll add the 2 in.
Okay.
Oh, wow, you guys are killing me. That is 12. So it says under the crack it move, on 7+, you get in and pick one of these opportunities. So circumvent or control an aspect of the security system. The GM answers a question about the location, system, or data. So that would seem logical. You could ask me a question about that. You set something up that is triggered when you say so. So it's leaving a booby trap in the system somewhere. Or you get some other benefit as long as the GM agrees it's reasonable. But on a 10+, you're going to pick one again. So based on what you wanted to know, I'm going to start by answering a question about the data. And I think it's fair to say that the nature of the RGA ships that have been investigating or out there, they've been survey ships with significant sensor arrays. Okay, so that's the answer to that question, the nature of the ships. Do you want to ask me another question, or do you want to go with one of those other bullet points.
Let's see. Well, I think the second bullet point, a question about the location system or data, like their destination. So he was looking for information about what was on the ships, and he found out some information about where they're headed as well.
Okay. You are able to get a slightly narrower area of the outer system than the data that you were given by your connection. So you are going to have less trouble finding stuff out there than otherwise you might have. Fair enough?
Sounds
Does that
good.
seem like a decent benefit?
Sounds like a great benefit. And Eugene is going to be really happy to show this to the other guys.
Yeah. And is there some scene where he's kind of calling up screens of data and saying, look, he's this.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody, look, I found some stuff.
What, Dominic, what do you think Duke is doing as preparation for this job?
What could you remind me what the job was again?
The job is to investigate why the RGA, the Ringate Authority, is spending such a lot of time and resource investigating the outer system.
Then it would make sense for me to come up with a disguise that brings us in. I don't have any good ideas which one though, but maybe we can roll and then see where that leads us.
Well, I do need to, because I won't know what you're rolling with. So I'll be honest with you, I don't think you have time to prepare costume, accent, look, etc.
Okay.
I think this is something that you need to get done in a hurry because you need to set off. So I'm going to go roll with sincere.
Yeah, then maybe the way in would be to pretend that we are some of like official team from that authority, and that we're sent to investigate. Basically, do that what we want to do anyway, but make it official.
So how is your pretense going to deliver that when you're on hub?
I don't know. It's also vague. Who's that authority? Who are these people?
Right, Ringate Authority. Check out the cluster. The Ringate Authority have their origin in merchants and exploration, but they're effectively the government of Hub, and they're the closest that the cluster has to a cluster-wide government, because these are the people who operate the Ringates. They're the only people who know how the Ringates work. They have a reach across all the systems of the cluster. They are widely visible and feared. And the word on the street is that people are talking about a prophecy, that the Ringate Authority, odd, but that they are currently obsessed with some prophecy.
Okay, well, that's something I can latch onto. So I am a traveling Ringate Authority preacher, so to speak, who is traveling through the to the outer rim to spread that prophecy, to spread the good word. I don't mean anything bad. I don't want to pry. I'm just passing through.
Well, that tells me what you're going to do if you want to pretend once you get there. What I'm curious about is how you want to use the time before you leave to get a clear idea of what you might be encountering, I guess. This is legwork in advance of getting there. Now that may very well what you want to pitch when you get there. Because at the moment the deal is the Ringate Authority don't know anything about you. and shouldn't know anything about you, because with the best will in the world, they shouldn't know that anyone's interested in what they're doing. That's why it's illegal.
Okay, in that case, I will not focus on my move so much, and just say that what I'm interested in is to find out more about that prophecy and about what these the section that is out there, like who they are and how they relate to that.
Okay, so there is a move everyone has access to. The moves tab has investigate. When you ask a question about someone or something, a situation or phenomenon, or when you research something specific, describe what you do and roll plus sharp.
Mhm.
So how are you doing this research? You going online and checking what anyone talks about prophecies in the hub system, or
I think I'll talk to people. I uh will. I'm sure there are like forums and stuff where the prophecy set meets. So I'm going to use my um, institutional knowledge I have of that, um, like to know where to look and who to ask about
okay,
that kind of stuff.
roll plus sharp.
Yeah. Um, plus sharp. That is a 7, and my sharp is 1.
8.
8.
So on 7 plus, the GM will provide relevant information, may even ask you to respond. Well, so I'll give you some information, I think. The
Hmm.
information is that there is a prophecy that once the cluster was connected to an enormous network of ring gates, and that 1,000 years ago, that ring gate system collapsed. And only in the last couple of 100 years have these 7 ring gates been activated. But the prophecy is that somewhere in the cluster, there is a lost ring gate that would
Mm.
connect this cluster conceivably to the rest of the galaxy.
Mm.
Does that seem like a reasonable prophecy to be working to?
Sure. Hmm.
Um, Whether that is why they are interested in the outer system of Hub, I cannot tell you.
Nope, but
Um,
it's at least a believable cover story.
It is.
Yeah.
7 to 9, what you learn comes with a cost, such as an unknown adds tension to the scene, potentially dangerous unknown is added to the scene, dangerous opposition is revealed, a factional complication or entanglement surfaces. Um, I think that a complication emerges.
Hmm.
Can I ask you to tell me about your relationship to some of these factions? What is your relationship to the Ringate Authority itself? Do you owe them a debt, or do they owe you a favor?
Since we are operating in Hub, I think I will owe them debts. Um, do you need specifics?
No, just put one debt
Okay.
in there.
Hmm.
Just give me some idea of your relationship with them. And also, I am curious about your relationship with um, the collective. The collective is a rumored and respected rebel group that operates in they believe to be based on that harsh world in the Barlow system.
Hmm.
Um, and they are known to be wanting to undermine the Ringate Authority. And the complication is that somebody says that, yeah, the prophecy's all well and good, but you ever heard of the collective? The collective want to keep the cluster isolated.
Hmm.
Okay? So, as well as the syndicate being interested in that, it appears that this prophecy may be opposed by another of the factions, the collective. Um,
Okay.
and can you can have a favor from the collective?
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Sinner, what about Linn? What is Linn wanting to do as a bit of groundwork?
So to recap, what we know is they're out there with some kind of research ships, presumably looking for a lost ring gate.
That would fit with the prophecy.
Okay, so they have to have set out from somewhere, right? Like they have to have had a base camp of some sort.
Go on.
I want to find whatever that base camp is, and I want to go maybe lightly threaten the people who work the crew that load or repair things, basically the harbor crew, and I want to find out what equipment they were bringing.
Okay, I think given how advanced the hub system is, the significant kind of Goldilocks planet is called Core. And so I think that what we see you doing is walking the halls of Core Highport, which is the orbital station from which most ships coming into the system and leaving the system end up docking. They don't land on the planet. That's all very messy. We don't want any of that. You land up there and shuttle down. And so I think we see you manipulating some people in a dock bar. Yeah, we all know what this looks like because we've all seen The Expanse. So yeah, that sounds like manipulate by imposing your presence. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
So let's have you roll with force. 2 dice plus whatever you have for force.
Alan, I do have a question. Are we able to help other characters in their...
Not in this case, because what I want to do
Okay.
is just have each of you have a little
Okay.
chance to roll the dice in a low stake situation. So go ahead, Sinner, roll plus that. Oh, guys, what are you doing? That's 11 on the dice, and I'm guessing your force is at 2.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's very good. Congratulations. So on 7 plus, it works, and you're at an advantage to lever your success with them. So you're on good terms with them. And on 10 plus, you pick one. Transfer the way they feel about you to a crew member they may not even have met. Hold that advantage and treat it as a free spend in the future. So what do you want to do? I think that you've got advantage. Is that something you want to bank for use when you get out there?
Yeah, I think I want to bank that.
Make a note of it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And so that's what you know. We now know that the RGA are sending research survey ships out to the outer system. We know that there is a prophecy relating to a lost ring gate. We know that the Syndicate is out there as well. We know that the collective, this rebel group, is against the idea of even finding a lost ring gate. So they may be a complicating factor. And we've got a couple of advantages possibly to throw in the way due to Coyne's hard work getting information, and Sinner's what he's threatened out of the local dock workers that might prove helpful when you get out there. So that is where we're at. It's at 10 to the hour. What I think I want to do is I want to set you off on your journey and then see how that goes. Yeah. So let's go somewhere. There is a ship move on the Ship and Wealth that says plot a course. So when you plot a course to an in-system destination, so you've got a fairly narrow search area on the basis of what Eugene got out of the online system. You are going to roll plus computer. So given that you got that information, Eugene, I want you to roll plus the ship's computer score, which is +1. So 2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
So if you just roll the dice, we can all add the +1 to it. And it's going to be 10 plus anyway, so who cares?
Or it should be a 2.
So do any of my stats apply?
No.
Okay.
This
All
stuff relies on how well equipped the ship is, really.
Okay.
6 plus 1 is 7. On 7 plus, Pick one. You arrive at your destination, or you don't arrive because there's a deep space encounter. Do you want a deep space encounter, or do you want to arrive in that search area?
And which
So this is on the ship tab.
on the ship tab? Okay.
Yeah, and it's the computer move plot a course.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got a choice. You can arrive, and on a 7 to 9, you will arrive with damage due to wear and tear. Or if you choose to have a deep space encounter, the entire crew will start the encounter at disadvantage.
I feel like arriving at the destination, but I'll leave it. What does everybody else feel like? Do we want a deep space encounter, or do we want to have damage to the ship when we arrive?
Deep space encounter feels like that would go against us trying to keep a low profile, not being discovered.
Depends what the encounter is.
Hmm.
Could be a derelict you can search and make profit from. Who knows?
But since we only have a 2-shot, maybe let's skip that one.
Okay. So I'm hearing skip it from 2. A strong view, Puckett?
I have no opinion on the matter.
Okay.
Although I think the argument that we're trying to keep a low profile certainly fits.
Okay.
But also showing up at the dock with a damaged ship might draw attention.
Well, tell me now or forever hold your peace. I am about to roll for which bit of the ship undertakes some wear and tear.
Well, it's wear and tear, so that's normal, right?
Yeah, it's nothing, isn't it? Nothing. Okay. So that is a 5 and a 2. So if you look at the hit location on the ship, I go down to 5 or 6, which is engineering, and 2 is the drive. So
lovely.
Yeah, so I'm going to tick the first of the damage boxes on engineering, and I'm going to lose the +1 on the drive. So using the drive is now +0.
So is this Eugene's fault? Is this Eugene's fault this happened?
No, this is the crew decided that they just wanted to push the drive and get there, rather than there was a vague blip on the sensors that suggested there was something over there, but let's just push on. And so
your job, Eugene.
Oh, guys,
yes,
I told you that if we push it too hard, it just things happen.
Yeah, that's why we have you.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I promise. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I'll fix it.
So, just before we break, does anyone want to have a scene with somebody else, just to see our characters interacting? Because you've interacted with the mechanics, but I'm curious to see if you want to interact with one another. So, Cinna, do you want to have a brief scene with somebody just to explore the relationships or anything else?
Who was the person from the religious people? Was that one of us?
That's Duke.
That was me.
Okay. So what do you know about this prophecy? That seems like your kind of thing.
Not much, honestly. Only that there's a prophecy of one jump gate opening and opening the lanes to all the others. That's what the hub people what counts as belief for them. But yeah, it certainly will make trade easier, won't it?
Sure. But what would make a group such as the Ringgate Authority actually spend that much money and time on a prophecy?
Well,
who gives these out? Do they come in cornflakes boxes or what?
Well, usually somebody wakes up at 4 in the morning and has a epiphany, and they write them down, and that is how you get to a prophecy. What could also happen, of course, is that somebody stands to make money off of selling the prophecy. That is also how you get prophecies. Or And from my humble opinion, that is what I think is happening here, maybe, is that they have prognosticating of AI and thing, and they just trust. They trust in their machines, they trust in their algorithms. And some people call it a prophecy, other people call it a prognosis.
Hmm. They're
And
spending money on it either way.
can I ask a question of
Mhm.
Duke here? I
Yeah.
mean, how would this fit with the your people's view of the universe and their place in it? Is this something that the regime would want to encourage?
What do you mean?
Well, you know,
The jump gate thing?
yeah. I mean,
I
you're
I
authoritarian.
I think they would denounce it publicly until it is in the world, and then they would use it and do a 180 and say prophesied that the entire time, actually.
Okay, they're opportunists,
Yes, very much so.
religio-political opportunists. Enough said.
Yes.
Bucket, does Coyne want to spend a moment with somebody else?
I think who is our investigator? Is that Eugene?
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to pull Eugene aside, if that's okay with you, Nathan.
Oh, absolutely. Eugene will, you may have to, physically pull him aside, but you never know.
I mean, at least here we have space. So, I can drag you into the airlock or something like that to have a bit of privacy. Probably where we smoke anyway. So,
Sorry, I'd want to interrupt, but just quick, so the damages to the drive and what else? It was
The engineering is where the wear and tear is. So there's
okay.
damage to that entire section of the
Okay.
ship, but
Okay.
specifically it's the drive that took the hit.
Okay, got it. Okay.
so this investigation thing.
Yeah. Coin what? Yeah.
You ever hear the old saying that everything that is said must be true, but not everything that is true must be said?
I've not heard of it, but I think I understand.
We may see some stuff out there that we should probably just keep our mouths shut about. And we
Oh,
might also see some stuff out there that changes the job or our understanding of it. And we need to be able to improvise.
improvise.
No
Sure.
plan survives contact with the enemy. Not that there's an enemy in this, just that plans typically change once you get them started because we're operating on a set of incomplete information, right?
Yeah.
If we had 100% of the information, we wouldn't even need a plan. We just know what to do. Plans are
Yes.
for that's what you do when you don't know all the things, right?
Oh, I make plans regardless, but
That's good.
plans are good. I like plans. It's always good to know, have an idea of what you're doing. And if I don't have a plan, it can be difficult.
All I'm saying is that if we get out there and we find out that the job is something that we're not comfortable doing,
Mm-hmm.
Can't
What
say
is
what
what?
might be. Like, maybe we find out that they're looking for someone who's out there and they don't want to be found. Maybe we just need to not find them.
Not fine. So that you wouldn't. That's a thing that we wouldn't be comfortable with if they're looking for somebody, not something.
If they're looking to hurt that person or in some other way curtail their liberty or freedom, that would be a bad thing. And yes, we would need to not find that person.
Yeah, I mean that sounds really bad. Um, if someone's doing that, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that, but I've heard that happens sometimes.
Well,
That people are looking for other people.
you're an investigator, so you know how to find people and things, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. So if anything like that happens, well, I may need you to make it so that that person or thing cannot be found. Sort of investigating in reverse.
Okay. So you want them to disappear?
If need be.
If need
I'll
be.
tell you what.
I mean, disappear can mean, a lot of things, I mean, I can make
We're not talking about spacing anybody. We're not talking about tossing them in an airlock and giving them to hard vacuum.
Oh, well, I hope not, because if you want me to do that, well,
No.
it's kind of difficult.
We may need to make sure that the records of their existence no longer exist.
Oh, yeah. I can do records. Yeah. I'll go in there and then just, wipe them out. They won't be there anymore. And yeah.
Just if we get there and it's something we all agree, this is not something we want to do. Okay. You don't need just putting you on notice, giving you a heads up about it.
Thank you, Coyne. It's always good to have heads up. Yeah. Thank you, Coyne. It's always appreciated.
Sure thing. You're a good man, Eugene.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
And I'll clap you on the shoulder and give you a nice broad smile. Say, I gotta go. Good luck with this whole engine.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm on it.
Yeah.
And I think that's cut.
Yep.
And I think we could go to commercial break. Is 5 past too quick?
It's quite quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could use to 10 past.
10 past it is.
Okay. See you then.
So back from our commercial break on this extended Netflix kind of pilot. You are in the right search area. The drive took a bit of damage on the way out. Now it's about can you either find what they're looking for or find them, whoever them might be. So how are you going to go about doing that? Who should I go to here? Who's our sharpest knife in the box? Oh, sorry, I should have said, when you roll with a characteristic with a stat, tick the box next to it. I always forget to tell people that. So, Puckett is definitely rolled plus shady. I think most people have focused on their plus 2s so far, but you'll get an XP when all those boxes are ticked. So what's the approach here? Is this going to be just, high speed zipping about this area of space, or is there a more selective approach? I mean, Duke, what about you? I mean, you're our Daredevil. You have perhaps too much confidence in your abilities. What approach are you thinking of taking?
Do we have any leads, or are we just stabbing in the dark?
You've come to the volume of space within the larger volume that you originally started with. Eugene narrowed down that volume of space. You've still got an awful lot of volume out here. So my question is, how are you going to proceed with the investigation, I suppose?
Oh, Eugene, you wouldn't happen to know some, pardon the pun, some hub, some place where people gather?
There was nothing in the records, nothing in what Nathan uncovered previously.
You mean like there's a bar somewhere that
Yeah, bar, shipyard, something.
Whereabouts?
Anywhere?
Anywhere. You mean anywhere out here? Right?
Yeah, yes, I do mean anywhere here. Do you have?
I thought you might be talking about when we get back, someplace to get a drink or something. But that makes sense.
No, don't worry. Do you happen to have any scanners, maps of the area? Anything?
Oh, well, we got scanners. Yeah. They did not get damaged. The scanners.
Would you mind
okay, I think
making a long distance scan for me?
I can
If
see what I
you'd
can
be
see.
so kind. See
Oh,
if you can
of course.
find any kind of larger structure. It's not planet large, shipyard
So
large.
there's a sensor move for the ship called run a scan. When you scan near space, roll plus sensors at disadvantage if you rely on passive sensors compared to active sensors. So the question is, do you want to find stuff out without people knowing that you're here? That would be passive sensors.
Mhm.
What do you want to do?
Duke, what kind of sensors you want?
Well, I'm not worried about people finding their way to the prophecy. I'm worried about us floating around in space for weeks.
Oh
So
yeah, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be
yeah, active it is, I guess.
good. Okay.
If that's stronger, you are the expert.
Oh, what's right? Well,
You
I
tell
mean,
me.
it's if somebody finds out we're here, I didn't know if that was a problem, but active.
Manifest your inner light. Tell me
Oh,
what we should do.
I know. You told me about that. I gotta.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to have that session later where you tell me all about the
Yeah.
light stuff.
Dig deep, my man.
Okay, I'm gonna dig deep, and we're gonna have a good long range sensor scan. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So active sensors, roll 2 dice and add +1 for sensors.
Am I doing this?
Yes, I think so. I think Duke has kind of manipulated you into doing it.
All right. Hope everybody else wants active sensors.
Wow.
Well,
that is my boy.
That is 12 plus 1. So 7 plus. You get what the GM says you need to proceed, and they will answer a question about the subject of the scans. I think I will give you a heading on a radio emission. Yeah? So who the fuck is running active sensors? Shouts Sinner as he storms onto the bridge.
Is that like over the intercom, or are you just coming in?
You manifested big today, Eugene. I'm so proud of you.
Finding your inner light.
It's because of you, Duke. You told me, I focused.
Yes.
So that is success. I'll give you a bearing on that. 10 plus. You identify a flaw or weakness in the subject of the scan and have advantage to exploit it. I think that the nature of the signal suggests that it is either something is orbiting it or it is orbiting something. So its broadcasts are going on and off, on and off, on and off, which suggests that if you choose your approach correctly, you might manage to have it not spot you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think, Duke, you've got enough information now to plot a course to that location.
I don't know how to plot a course. My boy Eugene will do that for me.
Sinner, what about asking Linn to do that? Because I don't want Eugene to do all the dice. Well, I don't want Nathan to do all the dice rolling.
Duke, I gotta still fix the drive.
Oh, sure.
So, Linn, let's have you lay in a course for this radio emission or this electromagnetic emission. Oh, come on, guys! Another 12. This is the last time I use this dice roller. So, plot a course. 7 plus, pick one. Do you want to arrive at that location, or do you want to have an encounter on the way? Sinner? Oh, you are muted, I think.
We would like to arrive, I believe.
Okay. 10 plus. Either the ship arrives at the destination, the crew have advantage to getting paid, or the crew chooses the nature of the encounter instead of the GM.
What?
So what do you find out there? You
I
can tell me what
accidentally
it is.
muted.
Oh,
I don't even know how I did that. So I heard basically nothing of what you said.
okay. So on a 10 plus, the ship arrives at destination and you have advantage to getting paid. So you're going to find something that is to your advantage when you get back. Or I will allow you to choose what it is that is emitting this signal. What do you want, Sinner? Choice or advantage down the road to getting paid? And I will tell you what it is.
Hmm. I don't have a good idea for what it would be, so I'll take the advantage.
Fine. Make a note on your sheet of advantage to get paid. And I will tell you that you have encountered a ship, and it appears to be orbiting or caught in the orbit of a small planetoid. And I think I will determine randomly what we think about it. 4 and 5 or 5 and 4. Okay. I think it is. Yeah, I think that it appears to be a survey ship of some description. Yeah.
Can we tell just from the appearance what it's surveying?
I think you're getting a call sign from it that indicates, and I'm going to assume here that call signs give some indication of purpose. So yours will be indicating freelance ship, trade, other jobs considered.
Heavily armed.
And so I think that the broadcast is pinned down to being a survey ship. You want anything else? You need to run a sensor scan. So Coyne, let's come to you. Do you want to run a sensor scan to get more information on this now that you've arrived in its vicinity?
Oh. What other options do I have?
Well, I mean, you could just approach it, or go elsewhere, based on when it takes your choice.
Oh, what the hell? Why not scan it?
Passive or active?
Well, knowing how Linn feels about active scans, I'm going to try passive.
Okay, so this is with disadvantage then, because you're just trying to pick out of the background emissions something useful. So you can roll 3 dice, take the bottom 2, and apply your sensors of +1 to it.
Okay.
Good choice, Coyne. Good choice.
You
don't want Linn mad at you.
Oh, that's not bad. That's what, 5
That's
and 3.
A 10.
Okay.
Or excuse me.
It's a 9.
5 and 3.
Yeah, so it's a 9. So what I can tell you then is, well, you asked me a question related to the move, which is cause or origin, purpose or value, expected behavior, capacity to do you harm, its level of alert.
Capacity to do harm.
It does not appear to be emitting the kind of power signature that you might associate with a heavily armed ship. Does that seem fair answer?
Fair enough.
On a 7 to 9, active sensors alert them. Otherwise, the GM describes the cost of your success. Let's just see if I can come up with a decent random cost. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Something interferes with your progress. Yes, let's have something interfere with your progress. all four of you are on the bridge at this point, aren't you? One
Mhm.
way or another.
Mhm.
So let's see what interferes with your progress. 6 and 4 or 4 and 6. I'm going to say that out of nowhere, an ancient artifact materializes in front of you. Duke, you are most likely to be in the pilot's position at this point
Mhm.
when this thing appears out of nowhere. It appears. It is 4 and 6. It is ring shaped. Dun dun dun. And it is three, 1 and 3, 3 and 1. It appears to be made out of rock, some kind of natural mineral, but clearly artificial because asteroids don't come looking like donuts. And it's trailing rubble and fragments. But trailing from where? Because this didn't kind of come into your senses and get closer. This just has appeared with the risk of collision. And it is 5d6. It is about 50 times the size of the ship.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yikes.
Holy light. I'll
What
be
is
damned.
what is your response, Dominic? You got Duke has two immediate options:
Yes.
dodge or flee to avoid collision.
I will put my hand on who's at the actual wheel.
You are.
I am. I'm.
You're our Daredevil.
Sure.
I'll tell you now that if you choose to try to run for it to avoid it, you will roll plus drive, which we know is taking some harm, some damage. If you try to dodge it, you will take manual control of the ship and use controls for a move called a bumpy ride.
And that is what I'll do.
Okay.
Real quick, if I think Eugene's actually back working on the drive, and he looks out the window and he gets on the intercom. What is that giant thing in the window, guys?
Has anyone else seen that big rocky donut?
Captain to crew, everybody hold on to your butts. It's going to get bumpy.
Yes. So let's have you roll plus controls, which is roll plus 1. So 2d6 plus 1 as Duke kind of yanks on the controls and sets, whatever thrusters you have it.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay. 7 plus, you succeed. So how do you succeed? Do you dodge on the side of it, or do you go through the middle of it?
We fly straight through, obviously. If my mom always said, if the universe gives you a donut, you fly straight through.
It's a rocky ride on a 7 to 9. Split 3 between crew stress and hull damage.
What? Where's the move? I haven't found the move.
Oh, sorry. It's on the ship tab and it's controls.
Not on the move tab. Got it.
Yeah, anything involving the ship is on the ship tab.
Okay. A rocky ride split 3 between crew stress and hull damage. What does crew stress mean?
Okay, so if you look at your character sheets, you will see that you have down on row 29 stress. Generally speaking, you have 3 stress boxes. I don't quite know why one of yours is missing, but there you go. You have 3 stress boxes.
He's never stressed.
So this could be all of you taking 1 point of stress, or it could be no stress and you apply 3 damage to the ship's hull as you fly through the rocky trail that is behind this enormous mineral donut.
Mhm.
Eugene, I volunteer to take a stress for Eugene.
As does Linn.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Eugene isn't
I will
buckled
take a
back there.
stress.
He's just, he's got wrenches and he falls over and, tools everywhere.
So
Linn has notes.
I
so
think.
so
Mhm.
let me go back then and describe. We are in the kind of tech level of the expanse here. So, you got your mag boots. So
Okay.
when this begins to maneuver, violently as Duke begins to throw the ship around to try and dodge this debris, what happens to Nathan? That means, did he not have the boots locked down, or what was he? Was he in some kind of confined space and he's being battered about in there? What's true of Nathan? Of,
No,
of
yeah, I think he's down in the bowels, um, and yeah, he had to take his boots off in order to get, back into something. And not only does he get jostled around, but his toolbox just hits and explodes, of tools everywhere, bouncing all over the place, hitting him in the eyeball.
Yeah, so it's an absolute, down in engineering, chaos erupts. Linn, you rushed up to the bridge when you found that the active sensors were at work. So I'm just curious, what do we see? Where does that stress come from Linn? It could be psychological, it could be emotional, it doesn't have to be physical.
Uh, she isn't that great at flying a ship. Like, she happily cedes the driver's seat to Duke whenever possible, but she also hates the way he flies. Uh, and as soon as she feels even the slightest acceleration, she straps herself in one of those seats that's in the cockpit, but like a bit further back, and it's just like white knuckling it the entire time.
Well, I mean, you do have a reminder of home, I think, which could protect you from that stress if you tell me how luck intervenes and stops you getting that stress.
Mm.
If you want to use up that reminder of home, because it's kind of one use until you get a bit of downtime.
Yeah, I think she has this uh the spaceship equivalent of a spark plug, basically, that's just on a string. Looks kind of similar to uh like a bullet necklace that people have. And she's just like gripping that with one hand and the hand like armrest of the seat with the other, uh, and basically almost crushing the ceramic part of it with the grip.
Okay, so you don't take stress. Um, Eugene, mark the number 1 box on your stress track. So that's still one stress left, one to be allocated. Coyne, are you volunteering to take that? Because Duke doesn't
I
appear
already
to
did.
be. You've already done it. Fine. There you
Yes.
go. So what does that look like for you?
This is reminding me of the escape from the Syndicate. Having somebody right behind me in this little tiny two-person ship that has an engine on it. It was built for maximum acceleration and speed. It was not built for comfort. It's the kind of ship where if you punch it hard enough, you're probably going to wind up with a cracked sternum.
Fine.
So I remember that, and I start tinkering with my little memento of home.
Oh, have you got one as well?
I do.
Ah, right. Well, then you don't take that stress. Um, but in both cases where you've used a reminder of home, will you tick the red box alongside it on your gear list? Because that means you've made use of it until its luck recharges.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, and then Duke, you bring the ship into a matched course with this thing.
Mhm.
Now, everybody around the cluster knows ancient artifacts. The ring gates were produced, so people say, by this ancient culture that no one now knows about. But occasionally, other items of ancient technology manifest across the cluster. And it appears that you just missed crashing into one.
Mhm.
Ancient artifacts have value in the sense that simply reporting back what you find, where you encountered one is worth something if you choose to share it. The more you find out about it, the more valuable the information you have on it is.
Mhm.
So my question is, do you ignore that signal that you were getting and track this artifact with the idea of perhaps boarding it or trying to get into it or trying to investigate it?
Mhm.
Or do you ignore the artifact and its potential value in favor of that signal that you were getting?
Well, boys, if the light sends us an artifact, then we should bloody well follow up on that.
So I'm go on.
Can I ask a question? I was just wondering. I'm wondering if we have encountered any artifacts before or not.
No,
Okay.
no, they
Yeah,
are
I think-
quite
yeah.
rare.
Okay. All right.
That's why
That works
knowledge
great.
about them is so valuable. Yeah.
At this point, I would like to get on comms in the ship and say, Eugene, remember earlier when I said that everything that is said must be true, but not everything that is true must be said? This is one of the things we're not saying.
Right. Now, Eugene hasn't seen this thing. He doesn't know exactly what it is. What exactly are we not saying?
Exactly.
Okay. No problem, Coyne.
So what I think we see on screen is this enormous agglomeration of rock. Whether it looks like asteroids and chunks of rock stuck together, or whether it looks like it was once perhaps a smoother structure that has somehow been eroded to give it this irregular surface. But certainly there is a trail of rubble, rather like the tail of a comet behind it. And I think I see the ship, a 50th of the size of this thing, maneuvered so it is keeping pace in the middle of the donut. Does that seem like a decent view? So my question is, you've matched course with this thing. You're now heading away from whatever that was over there, that survey ship, inverted commas. What are you going to do?
Well, Eugene's going up to the cockpit because he's like, what's going on here? And
Yeah,
he arrives with ice on his forehead when he hit his head, and he's covered with grease over half his face.
And still the drive is not repaired. Damn!
What is that? What is that, guys? What is that?
It's a sign by the light, and I think we should try and get closer. Maybe we can even land the thing.
Oh boy.
Don't you worry your little head.
Yeah, Eugene, listen, this is just something we're not talking about. We're not seeing it. Honestly, the best thing you could do right now is get the engine fixed.
Okay, I'm not
right,
seeing
Duke?
it.
Right, Linn?
Yep.
I'm not seeing it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I sure as heck think I'm seeing it, but I'll try not
This
to.
is one of those things we don't talk about, Eugene.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go back and okay. Well,
good plan, Eugene.
Good luck, guys.
So I guess I want to ask someone to run a scan to see if, do you want to dock with it, or do you just want to settle for what you see and where it is?
Folks, how do we feel about boarding it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's have you run a sensor scan then Linn, because this has gone so well for you so far. So let's have you on sensors while Eugene is trying to find make some patchwork repairs to the drive. Let's have you roll +1 for run a scan, and maybe we can find something. So that looks to me like a 7 + 1 is 8. 7 plus, you get what the GM says you need to proceed. And I think what you need to proceed is that you can see where, again, whether it is a crack in the surface or whether it is a point where 2 or 3 of these large irregular shapes that seem to make up this torus, you can see a dark gap that the ship would fit into. Yeah, you get that for nothing. And then you can ask me a question about cause or origin of this, purpose or value, expected behavior, capacity to do you harm, its level of alert.
I would like the level of alert.
It is entirely inert.
Fantastic.
It is giving off nothing. No electromagnetic radiation is coming off this thing at all. There is some residual heat, but nothing else. And you know, you don't have a course. It simply appeared in the same volume of space that you were occupying, or close to, as these things do. And I suppose the only thing that you need to be slightly concerned about is that sometimes they disappear as unpredictably as they appear. Just saying. But there's a crack in the surface.
Well, take us inside.
When you maneuver to avoid a collision debris or otherwise thread the needle, Duke, roll plus controls, roll +1, because you need to move your ship into that hole.
Yep.
That crack.
I step away from the controls and let the light take the wheel.
So it's point and click.
So it's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. So on a 7 plus, you succeed. It's rocky, split 3 between crew stress and hull damage. Now, given that you left the light to play here, I'm going to apply 1 emotional stress to Duke because that was close. You know, the light delivered, but not without effect. So what are we going to do with the other 2 of this 3? Do you want to apply this to the ship? Is this a literal close call? Or does anybody else want to be affected by this bumpy ride? I'm just curious.
It's Duke's cockamamie theories about this light that got us into the whole thing because, you know, light take the wheel? Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, everyone else on the bridge,
stressed.
You know, there comes a point where he sets course and then he just lets go of the steering.
You sound stressed, Coyne.
Would you hold on to the stick?
I got us down, didn't I?
So am I hearing from that Duke takes 1 stress because I feel I owe him that? And is Linn going to take a stress? Because no way to protect against it now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. So
Eugene will take 1 too. How many do we got to take?
Well, you need 3. So Duke is 1, Linn is another. I'm going to go to Coyne though, who's also on the bridge and sees this. You know, so this is not going to be the ship having a problem. This appears to me to be, oh shit, collectively on the bridge.
Yes, this is not the ship having a problem. This is us having a problem with one of our crewmates.
Whose belief is...
I brought us down. No, not I. The light brought us down safely, didn't it?
Okay, so Puckett, do you want to mark that first stress?
I don't want to, but I will.
Will, fine. And what is really weird is that as you descend into this kind of crack, this chasm, there is atmosphere here.
Oh, interesting.
Dun dun dun.
Great cliffhanger.
And exactly so. That is where our episode ends.
Can I just insert that as soon as we find out there's atmosphere, Linn brings out the gun and cocks it.
I love it. Okay. Have we got time for a quick stars and wishes? Just
Of
so
course.
we can try to tailor next time, if nothing else.
If I could just real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I put in the chat that on the way back to engineering, Eugene stopped the supplies closet to get a paper bag
Eugene.
to put over
That's
his mouth
great.
because he's hyperventilating. But on his way, though, at the same time, he's trying to talk to himself and say, I saw nothing, I saw nothing, I saw nothing, I saw nothing, I saw nothing. Yeah. And he was too busy occupied with that and kind of floating back to, he didn't see all the stuff that you guys saw to get the extra stress. He was too worried about, so.
I like that. I like that. Thank you. Anybody else got anything to add before we go to credits and the stars and wishes? No, I always forget to do end of session XP. So if you go to row, hang on, I'll find it in a moment. If you go down to row 63, yeah, there are 2 triggers per session. My entanglement was relevant for good or ill. I aided or supported a crew member or spotlighted them. So let me go left to right. What about Do? Our Grifter Daredevil.
Yeah. My entanglement wasn't relevant, but I did spotlight my crew members in the beginning when I avoided piloting and told them the light is with them, particularly with Eugene.
Well, you see, I think both of those are true. I think that this whole thing about the light, the detail of your entanglement is I do still believe in the tenets and I do still make money off selling them. So I think that your entanglement has played a part here. So I think you get 2 XP, and you'll see there's a block of 6 of them. The first 2 of those you can fill in. Let's go next to Eugene. Do you think your entanglement, and this is, something you shouldn't, who would they send to stop you saying? You have some inside knowledge of the crime syndicate who you've worked for. Do you think that any of that was relevant today?
I don't think that came into play, at least not yet.
Not yet. So, no, I would tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
What about spotlighting, aided, supported a crew member or spotlighted them?
I didn't formally support someone. We did a little role play. I don't know if.
Yeah,
I hope I didn't dominate it too much, and
you
guys felt like I was pulling the spotlight.
I've felt very supported and spotlighted by you.
Yeah, I thought that the conversation, that stuff was going on there was great. So yeah, give yourself 1 XP. Moving along, Puckett. What about Coyne? My entanglement was relevant for good or ill, and this is debt. I used the resources that the Syndicate gave me as a payment for a job. So I would say yes, because it allowed me to have the Syndicate out here as well.
Okay. I will not argue that. I was thinking that the complication from the Syndicate might be it could go either way on the XP. And as far as spotlighting a crew member, the scene with Eugene.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate you were drawing me in, not just then, but later on. So that was fun.
So you could have 2 XP, I think. So on that total, tick 2 boxes. And finally, Sinner, what about Linn? Your entanglement is all about your guilt. Silencing the thoughts with work and gin.
I don't think that explicitly came up, no.
No. I think I did wonder whether an empty gin bottle was going to be your memory of home. Aided or supported a crew member or spotlighted them.
I do feel like I pointed out Duke there for the prophecy enlightenment.
I would agree. Give yourself an XP. So end of session XP done. A quick stars and wishes. Let me start, Puckett, with you. I don't know, Nathan, if you're familiar with the idea of stars and wishes. stars are things that you want to point out as what somebody was doing, or how something you enjoyed particularly, and wishes are things that you might want to see more of, or might want to have a chance to do or to see done in the next session. So, Puckett, what about any stars, any wishes?
Well, first off, huge star to you, Nathan, for the way you're playing Eugene.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious that our investigator is a little naive and not especially worldly. Is maybe a little bit too trusting, or at least you're playing him that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a nice dichotomy, because usually the investigator, or at least the way we think of it, they're hard boiled, they're gritty, they take no nonsense, they see right through things. Whereas Eugene seems really trusting. So you're playing against type, and I really appreciate that. Dominic, I always love how you dive into your characters with you basically just jump in feet first every time. So I really like what you're doing with Duke and this kind of vaguely religious belief thing. And then, Senna, that bit about the gun at the end. That says so much about who Linn is. Just like, okay, there's atmosphere. I'm armed. Time to tool up.
Lock and load.
That one detail. Everything else, yes, it all supported her characterization, but that one detail just crystallized all of it. Like, we're facing an alien artifact beyond scale and scope for us. I'm going to try to shoot something.
Any wishes, Puckett, for next time?
Trouble.
Okay.
I want to see our entanglements come into play. Maybe the Syndicate's already on this alien artifact. Maybe the light's there and doesn't want anybody else to know about it. Who can say? There's so many different things that could happen with this. So, yeah, trouble. Lots and lots of trouble, which I know you'll give us anyway.
I hope that I'll be able to deliver. Sinner, any stars, any wishes?
I want to give a star to Dominic for the podcaster vibes.
Yeah, I go with that. And any wishes? Sorry, there may be other stars. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if there were more stars. But any wishes?
I only have the one star. I was proud of myself for thinking of one even this time. I usually can't.
Wishes?
Seconding trouble.
Well, in a two-shot. Hey, Dominic, any stars, any wishes?
Yes, stars for the way all of you played into Duke. I really enjoyed that. I felt like the maybe a bit bold thing with a Southern revivalist preacher that I'm going for was recognized and was caught and was played with, and I really enjoyed that. I love particularly how Coyne got mad when I landed the plane. That was really nice. And I can just mirror what Puckett said about Eugene. Eugene is just, I already love him as a character.
Yeah.
For Alun, I really appreciate your strict spotlight management. Like particularly putting me in the captain's chair at that one point where I by myself wouldn't have gone there. But it kind of made the game better and gave me a chance to chisel out an aspect of Duke that I hadn't been aware yet. And also, it's the same as with Jotunweird. I always love the world building part of your games. It is so baroque, but it's beautiful. Like it plays in my mind. It plays in kind of the same corner of my bookshelf as Apocalypse Keys for similar reasons.
Oh well,
Um,
I'll take that.
yeah, only that your world building is just so nicely organized.
Any wishes?
No.
Okay. And finally, Nathan, any stars, any wishes?
Oh, absolutely. So I have to give stars to each of my fellow players for each of you establishing a certain but different relationship with Eugene for each of you. A Coyne like coming to Eugene to give him instructions. I thought is like establishing that, you know, he thinks Eugene definitely needs instructions and I'm going to give him instructions, and Eugene trying to follow the instructions. Also, I actually, Dominic, you read my mind, because when you're with your character being this, you know, religious, I was thinking, oh, Eugene might be susceptible to that. And then you mentioned it, and I was able to play right into it. Like I feel like, if I can say a wish, maybe at some point next time, a scene where like Eugene is taking more instructions from Dominic, like you know,
Yeah.
like about getting the light, and Eugene's determined to do.
Oh yeah.
And then Cinna, I don't think there was. I have to. This was in the chat, so I don't think everybody saw it. But he's also established his relationship with Eugene because he's yelled at him twice in the chat. One, who is running active sensors in all caps? And then second, no one likes a kiss ass, Eugene. So I think he might be afraid of Linn, but I'm not sure yet.
That's how she likes it.
I would like another wish that maybe a scene with Linn to kind of, you know, see where that might go. Would be lovely. And then last star, just Alan, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this game and setting it up. Thank you for explaining these rules, because I was not familiar with them. In your keeper is wonderful about providing a very clear way of how this works with the flow, so I didn't feel lost about, like, you know. Also, I like how the background is playing into the present. The backgrounds are not just meaningless, which is I love that so much. I'm that crazy guy that writes the 10-page background, but then just sits there, you know, and it's only in here, right? So, and so that's great, and yeah, looking forward to more too. So
yeah, well, you know, so am I, because I think that was a great starter session. I think Eugene is probably, even if Netflix don't pick this up for a series, I think Eugene is probably going to get a spin-off all his own. And yeah, I Dominic, just, you know, right back at you. I put you on the spot, and then you declined any power over it. Delightful. Cinna, the whole reason for having a chat is for what you are putting in it. You know, that it's the third dimension in these games is what goes on in the chat, which our millions of viewers won't be able to see. So I loved Eugene, and Coyne, the kind of the cynic to the naive. You know, there are some rules in the world, Eugene, that and here's one of them to start off with. So yeah, I think it's great, and you know, I already regret that we haven't got another 5 sessions, but there you go. Who knows down the road. So thank you with that. I will ask, is it okay if I post this to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course.
thank you very much. Then I will